This is a 2005 Chevy Equinox 3.4 liter, and I'm going over the coolant right now. So this is your reservoir over here, and then I replace this, and then the output hose is right down in there. And then what we have here is obviously your cap. And then if you read that, it says to pressure test it, to put at 15 psi, so to find a leak. I do have one of those, but I'm just showing you parts. So this isn't the overflow hose that goes through that little thing there. And then if you have too much, it'll spit it out. So that could be one reason why you're leaking fluid. So that I know just dripped on there from putting that in there. So this hose is a return hose, and this hose is dry. And if you follow the hose, it comes right down into here, right to there. So this hose is a return that goes right down underneath these two hoses that split off. If you note I'll show you in a second what those two are, and so as you see, comes down right into there, and then it turns in there. So where this is going is the return line from your heater coil. So there's two of those right there. There's one on the bottom if that focuses, and then one on the top. So you can see the one on the top. The one on the bottom was the one I just showed you. And the one on the top comes up here, and and as you can see, it splits off. Where it splits off from is, it comes from your tank here at the bottom where I showed you. So that hose is this hose right here I'm pointing to. So that's where all the fluid comes from, underneath there, under this hose, and that hose comes out right there. And as you can see, there's a splitter. So this splits off, and then it gives one of those hoses, is that top one, to the heater coil. So the top, it splits off and it gives coolant to the heater coil, and then that bottom one I showed you brings it back into the tank through that overflow, or through the output or whatever, into that. So if you can rewind the video, so yeah, it splits off, the one coming out, so it splits off, and then it gives fluid to the heater coil to cool off your inside, and then there's a split there. So yeah, you're looking at the engine, and then it splits off, and then it turns in, it's a rubber hose, and then it goes to a metal one. So that metal hose is this right here. That's just a bracket, but then the hose is right there, and the hose, this is coolant coming out, and you see it there, that pipe, it goes from the hose to the pipe, and I don't see any leaks, and then that pipe goes right there. See if I can show you here. And the pipe comes around, that's that same pipe, and it goes right there into this hose, and it comes out this side. So I'm not seeing any leaks there, but that would be a good place to look underneath, because it looks pretty rusted out underneath there. So then this hose comes into here, and then this is the water pump where I think it was leaking out, but now I don't like how I'm seeing this rusted out pipe here. So the coolant comes in to give coolant into your water pump in here. And then this is on the belt and pulley, but I have it taken out, and that box goes right in there. Right in here. Pretty easy, actually. Don't overthink it. So the coolant comes in, feeds the water pump to shoot it all around, and then this is a water pump housing. The water pump is not in there. And then, so this is the coolant hose. So this is your water pump coolant fixture housing. So then this is also a water pump hose, where this has actually been replaced. And I actually took it to the shop for that. I just took it in, and it was just that. I paid like $80 to have this hose replaced. So this is all coolant, and then the coolant shoots into your engine there. So that's from the top line. So if I can show you here, since this is your water pump I was just showing you, this big hose here, you're looking at the front of the car, you're coming in, this hose here is a coolant hose. It goes into your water pump, and the hose goes down into your radiator down there. So your radiator's on the front. This right here is a transmission oil cooler line that also goes into your radiator. So the hose comes in, and then it goes into your radiator. So if you want to come over here to your other side, this was just a cap that I pulled off. Some of them unscrew, but if you come over here to the other side, this is the driver's side, the top. Like how that other hose was a big hose like this, down below, this is the same hose that has your coolant in it also. And see how I don't see any leaks on that, or and I didn't on any of the other? This connects in down there. So I don't see any coolant. So the coolant is going into here through the radiator, and then it comes into your thermostat here. This is where I thought I might have had a leak down there, just minor, small drops, but so yeah, your coolant comes in, and this seems all dry, into your thermostat here. Thermostat housing. The thermostat is in here. You have to take this piece off to get to your thermostat, and then that connects bolts right on. So that is where your coolant, what these are as far as your coolant lines. So I just kind of wanted to, show you where I thought I was leaking, because it's kind of a good just going through if you want to look for leaks without having a pressure tester kit. But this is a 3.4 Equinox that works on like Saturn Vue and other ones. But if you're wondering what parts to the coolant system are under your hood and what kind of, just kind of follow your main holder there and see where she goes if you can look, and then it flows through your engine and all that, so mine was the water pump, I'm pretty sure, was leaking out, but following that hose actually was a good idea to remember to check, make sure this ain't rusted through that metal pipe that shoots coolant through. So just kind of a little overview on your coolant system, and if you have the exact model, it kind of might just help you, give you what to look for if you're leaking coolant. And when you're looking for coolant leaks or any leaks, since you're driving, you always start towards the front, because when you're driving, it's going to shoot the liquid back that you're dripping, and then you always start at the top because it's going to drip down. So notice how most of that was pretty dry. That's where I was seeing a lot of drips. I think I took a video of that. So, all right, well, that's enough. Coolant leak test overview, yada yada.